What up, guys? Fruit Punch, see we here. Back with some more Chaos Head Noah. 1, 2, 3. This game is already sicker than the anime. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember. You know, honestly, I don't remember disliking the anime. I remember thinking the anime was pretty good, but everyone just keep making fun of it. So I just, you know, I got influenced. I made fun of it too. This game is sick, dude. Continue. Load. Yes. Damn, I fucking love horror games. Oh shit. Scared the shit out of me. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I think horror is such a good ass genre, dude. It's too bad a lot of things suck with horror. But horror is godlike. This is psychological horror. And then my favorite visual novels are usually horror. Tsukihime is not really a horror. It's more like a thriller. Psychological thriller. It's close enough. But this is horror. I like this. I like her. Her voice is cute. A clear voice echoed across Miyashita Park in the depths of the night. I told you she's cute. On top of the pedestrian bridge over Meiji Street, as the cars came and went below, the girl they called FES leaned up against the bridge safety rail, seemingly oblivious to the noise below. She had no audience. If she'd done a real street performance, she probably would have at least 100 people stopping to listen. But for now, FES and chosen instead to hide herself behind the veil of night. The veil. All she had to do was stand there in silence. Then she could be one with the darkness, and for a moment at least, free from the filthy air of Shibuya. That's how it seemed to her anyway. Suddenly, she looked up at the night sky. The clouds that had covered it were slowly parting, and a faint ray of moonlight trickled through. But the bright, dazzling lights of Shibuya were hiding the hesitant twinkling of the stars. FES closed her mouth and reached up toward the sky. Me means eyes. If you say mega, I think that means 2 eyes. I don't know. I spent the entirety of the next 24 hours in base lard. I didn't even quit to eat. I dedicated myself fully to erasing Takumi Nishijo and becoming Nightheart. You know, honestly, dude, I kind of want to be just like, not like Takumi. But I kind of want to play an MMO. I tried playing an MMO one time, Final Fantasy 14, but I just felt like playing other games. Like, I liked it, but I didn't want to, like, play it, like, every day. In ESO, I was a god. I didn't need to be scared of any demons. Everybody respected me. I always thought how nice it would be if I could spend forever in this wonderful world. I always gotta check the volume. Oh, shit. Yeah. Got an angel halo, hell yeah! Alright, I'm not a gamer. As much as I like to be, I'm not a gamer. What does this mean? KTKR? Short for Kitakore, or is here. A phrase used by 2000 era Japanese otaku when everything was going their way. That's what they say. Kitakore. Kore. Then someone's knocking on his door. Oh, he got the fucking halo. I finally got in one of the ultra rare drops. I won it and was incredibly excited. All the depression I've been feeling had just blown away. Angel, oh god, I'm dying. An Angel Halo had a drop rate of 0.0001%. It was completely useless and just changed the way your character looked. But this also meant that everybody could see that you had an Angel Halo, and they would all be really jealous. Shut up! Who's that pounding on my door anyway? I'm enjoying my new rare item. Don't interrupt me. Yeah, that voice. The minute I heard it, my good mood vanished. It was the assassin sent by my parents, my little sister, Nanami. This was going to be a pain in the butt. Damn it. A storm was about to roll in. I didn't want to open the door at all, but if I kept the shirt, my parents would be the next ones to come. They tell me to stop living by myself and come home. My dad was pretty much the owner of this building. If he wanted to kick me out, he could. This wasn't just wasn't fair. I like this guy. Look what he has. He has Miku. He has Miku file, Miku.mp3, data, sound. Damn, Eroi. Coco chat. What was that? Miku JPEG too. Wait a minute. When was this? Miku existed back then? Then Miku existed like back late 2000s, I think. What does shut up mean? A common phrase to tell someone to shut up. Heh. Alright. Shut up! Don't yell so loud. She was still banging on the outside of the door. The wall is a shipping container or a single piece of metal, so any sound echoes really loudly. She knew that and was doing it anyway. I unlocked the padlock on the inside to open the doors outward. I had no other choice. They look nothing alike. I don't know. Anime's weird, bro. Like, your kid, the main character would have like, alright, you already saw, he has like black or blue hair. And then his sister, blonde. Oh, did she highlight her hair? No, she's naturally born blonde. Is the mom blonde? I don't think so. Is the dad blonde? I don't think so. Where did that blonde hair come from? Unless the mother had a secret meeting. Survival confirmed. This tiny shrimp of a girl was my imoto. She was 1 year younger than me. Every time I saw her, she was complaining about something. As you could tell from the way she was standing with her hands on her hips and pounding, she was a little brat. And if you were to ask me, she was nothing more than a huge nuisance. Then the music got real loud. Nanami walked right into my room, without even bothering to ask if it was okay. She thought she could do whatever she wanted, just because she was my imoto. To those of you out there who think imotos are moe, I have a message for you. Face reality. Well, I guess she was kind of cute. If you were a loli fan, she might be totally your type. But that's her real Oni-chan. I didn't feel that way about her. At all. If anything, she seemed like a little baby to me. But I don't mind loli characters. Just they have to be 2D. No, bro. Don't go down that path. Wait, what's she explain? He live in a container. Kotowaru.
お前に部屋荒らされたくない。きっとそれがわざわざ生存確認しに来てあげてる妹に言うセリフ。
Well, you're not showing your own knee any respect, are you? And nobody asked you to see if I was alive anyway.
まったく、なんでこんな面倒ばっかりかけさせる兄弟と血つながってるんだろう。たまに嫌になっちゃうよ。なんか喉乾いちゃった。飲み物もらうね。
Nanami walked to the back of the room and opened the fridge, again without even bothering to ask. What do I do? Do I be mean to her? Fuck, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do, bro. Should we be neutral? Ah, man, my feet's itchy. There's nothing here but soda. I don't know. Do I want to be mean to her? I don't want to be mean to Nanami. I'll be alright. I don't know what to do. Arrgh! Fuck, dude. I'll go neutral. I don't know what to do. Negative. Positive. Kill her. Don't kill her. Which one do I feel like doing? As usual, she seemed to have no intention of asking for her brother's permission. Man, let's not do that to Nanami, bro. Oh, I don't know. I kind of feel like it. Do we be nice to her in her row? No. I should have peeked her row. I can't even tell whose row I'm doing. Obviously, in first playthrough, it doesn't matter. But the route's not labeled by character names. It's labeled by their route's name. Shit. Alright, let's do it. She grabbed a bottle of soda, one that I already drank from, out of the fridge. She hesitated for a moment before swallowing it down. Don't drink my soda! Don't drink my soda! Who the hell did Nanami think she was anyway? I hope you get sick from drinking too much soda and end up in the hospital. Then I won't have to worry about anybody interrupting my peaceful life. I wish that would really happen. Oh, bro, I think I regret it. I don't know if I want to do that to Nanami. Oh. Suddenly, Nanami started to moan. The plastic bottle slipped out of her hand, spilling soda on the floor and splattered on the CDs and manga magazines lying there. I was about to tell him not to mess up my room, but then I gasped. I'm sorry, Nanami. I told you not to drink my soda. She was holding her neck in pain, and her eyes had flared wide open. Her mouth was gaping open and closed like a fish. Oh, fuck! She spat out blood. It was red. Dark red. Almost black. And landed on the cola on the floor, mixing in with it. Oh! I told you not to drink my cola! She collapsed to the ground, right on top of the mess. Her whole body began to spasm in pain. Her hands were ripping into her neck as she tried to dig her nails into her skin. She flailed her legs as she rolled around on the floor, oblivious to the fact that I could see her panties. It wasn't a nice thing to think at all, but she seemed to me like a fish on a cutting board. Hey, you dirtied the carpet. Can you go die somewhere else? I didn't know what to do at all, so I just covered my ears. But I could still hear my little sister dying screams. Eventually, she stopped moving, her face covered in drool and blood and tears. I called out to her name, afraid. There was no answer. She was lying on the floor in a terrible state. I could smell something like ammonia. Was it Nanami who pissed herself, or was it me? I slowly moved my hand forward to poke her shoulder. She didn't move at all. The very thought of doing it creeped me out, but I moved my head close to her mouth. She wasn't breathing. She was dead. Nanami was dead. It was a poisoning, like you see on TV. It was then that I understood. I put poison in the soda to kill Nanami. That had to be it. What? Damn, this guy's fucking cool. I mean, he's not cool. He's a psychopath. I knew it was my own delusions, but I was still creeped out. This one went way too far. Nanami might have been annoying, but I didn't need to have her die in such a realistic way. I could at least settle for giving her a full boko ass kicking. Short for full power of boko. Ass kicking, violent, brutal on one side of so boko. What does that mean in Japanese? Well, obviously it said it right there, but I wonder what's the full word. Boko. She didn't know I wanted to kill her. Act normal. Nothing. Nanami finished drinking her soda and looked at me in confusion. Why she has that face? I shook my head slightly. Hey, what can they stop doing this in anime? Did they stop doing this in anime? I don't remember seeing this face anymore. I like it. I'm sorry for doing weird things to you, even with just my delusions. I'm really sorry. But it just goes to show how much frustration towards you is building up inside me. I want you to understand that. I'm gonna kill everybody. We can have good, whatever, positive delusions later. Let's kill everybody. I like the negative delusions. They're cool. Wait, she drank my whole bottle of soda. I take it back. There was no need to apologize to Nanami. She should commit seppuku and die. You confirmed that I was still alive. You should be done now, right? What do you have to come into my room all the time? Dang, that music pause was kinda, I'm not gonna lie, spooked me a little bit. Nanami seemed annoyed at my words. She's just glaring at me with frown. I didn't want to deal with it, so I just looked away. Dude, this game got really good sprites. I don't like the sprites in this game. Shut up! Don't make fun of me. I'm not interested in 3D girls. I don't need to talk to them.
言ってみればお兄と話す女の子はナナだけってことじゃん。
Don't he has a mother?
だからさ、もっとナナのこと大事にしてよ。そしたら女の子との接し方もちょっとは分かってくるはずだし。
I don't need you, Nanami. I have Sedaton. As she spoke, she picked up one of my figures. Hikaru-tan, from Suicide Toward the Light. She stared at it. I don't know who that is. Hey, don't touch one of my wives. If you get a fingerprint on her, I'm seriously gonna kick your butt. Boko. Full Boko. Boko Boko.
もっと気を使って。こんなお人形さんにうつつを抜かしてる場合じゃないよ。ナナはお兄の死体の第一発見者になんかなりたくないからね。
What was my Imoto trying to say? She was starting to sound like Mom lately. What I meant by that was, she was annoying.
いいから帰れよ。
そんなに帰れ帰れ言わないでよ。お兄のバカ。まだこっちには用事が残ってるの。
This game got really good sprites. I'm amazed. The sprites are way better than Chaos Shadow. I don't remember Chaos Shadow being this animated on sprites. Was it? I don't remember. Ugh. She was starting to get hysterical. If I made her any madder, she might go berserk. I had to stay calm. She kinda cute. Did you not see her die? You missed it. I killed her. In my mind.
携帯買いに行こう。
What was she talking about?
お父さんがそうしろって。お兄が携帯持てばいつでも生存確認できるじゃん。お金はナナが預かってきたから今から買いに行こうよ。今時携帯持ってない人なんていないよ。時代に取り残されちゃうよ。
We don't need a phone. What are you gonna use a phone for? Shut up, trend follower. I know a lot more about what's popular than you do. I got the internet, you know. Oh, okay, maybe most kids my age had a phone, but I didn't. There was no reason why I would want one. I had nobody to call or text, and I didn't want to spend money on something I wasn't going to use.
だから行こう。
You know, they invented gacha gamers for people like this guy. He just said it. Why would you need a phone, right? He got no friends to text or call. So why would he get a phone? So Japan invented gacha games to get motherfuckers like this guy, subhumans, to get a cell phone so they can actually use it for an emergency. That's why gacha games were created. It was a major success. Maybe too much of a success. Nanami put the figure back on the shelf and peered up at me.
どうせお兄は機種とかわかんないだろうからナナと同じ機種にしちゃいなよ。
Man, you better give me something cool. She took her phone out of her bag and waved it in my face. Was that BlackBerry? Oh.
ほら、
It's
こ
a
れ
flip
がナナ
phone.
の色が可愛いでしょ。
It's yellow. I guess yellow's cute. Like sunshine.
ついでだからストラップも同じのあげるよ。
No thanks. I'd rather have Sedaton on my strap.
なんという手抜きキャラ。
Hanging for the strap was a small figurine of a character that was, well, whatever it was, it certainly wasn't cute. It looked like something created by a rookie designer with no talent at all. It wasn't cute, or even creepy cute. It was just creepy.
手抜きじゃないもん。ゲロカイルンはこういうデザインなの。今すっごく流行ってるからね。
Why do Japan like frogs? I always see like a frog mascot in like every anime, I feel like. I feel like there was one in Magical Index, and then this one. See, that's already double digits. 2.
女子高生の流行なんてお兄が知ってるわけないか。そういうとこを直せば少しは女子と会話成立すると思うよ、きっと。
Quiet, girl. What the hell kind of name is Ghetto Froggy? There was no way this thing was popular. The poor girl didn't realize she was being manipulated by the media.
っていうか、今はゲロカイルンの話 いいから携帯買いに行こうよ。あ、別にお揃いがいいとか言ってるわけじゃないからね。家族で同じ機種だと基本料金が割引されるサービスがあるからだよ。家族で持ってないのはお兄だけなんだからね。
いらない。
I don't want one.
なんで？お金はお父さんが出してくれるんだよ。
必要ない。
It would just be a nuisance. If I had a phone, Mom would probably call every day. If I didn't pick up, she sent her pet assassin Nanami here to check on me. In other words, it would just be a nuisance. One that would make my life a lot harder. I didn't want that at all.
もう信じらんないよ、このバカ鬼。もう帰る。
Aye.
ああ、そうしてくれ。
I opened the door for her to go, but she didn't move. She just glared at me, shoulders heaving with rage.
ほんとバカ。アホバカ鬼。駅まで送ってくれるとかしてよ。
嫌だね。
Yo, I like this character, bro. Takumi's a beast. Look at this guy. This guy was way cooler in the visual novel than I remember in the anime. He's a beast. I never walk her to the station all the time she'd come before. Why would I start now?
だって最近殺人事件とかで物騒じゃんか。こういう場合心配するのが兄弟ってもんでしょ。
I'm trying to save my own skin. Get out so I can lock the door. For a moment, what happened yesterday felt like it was going to come flooding back to me. I shook my head desperately, trying to drive the thought out of my mind.
どうでもいいし。
Whoever the NewGen killer was, they weren't going to be interested in a little kid like Nanami.
ありえない。
What he said. Oh, he said he don't care.
ナナが死んでもいいって言うんだ。
Yeah. She was crying. I must have made her really sad. It felt great. That's what you get for disrupting my peaceful life. This would be my little way of getting revenge. That's what you get.
バカ、死んじゃえ。お兄なんか猟奇的に殺されちゃえ。
What the fuck? She knocked me aside and ran out the door. Alright, time to lock the door. The serial killer can't come in if it's locked, right? Phew. At last the storm was over. The room was quiet now that she was gone. It was much nicer. The base was my home. Nothing was allowed to happen here unless I wanted it to. I sat down the computer and moved the mouse a little to wake it up from my Cydia-tan screensaver. Then I took a big swig from the soda bottle on the table, but it was empty. You know, I stopped drinking sodas. I think every otaku go through a phase of drinking soda, being a soda addict, right? Because it's so damn delicious and addicting, and every anime makes it seem like it's sick, right? It's cool, like Dr. Pepper, Steingate, Coca-Cola, Chaos Head. But then you get kidney stone, and then when you start peeing out blood, that's when you realize this shit ain't healthy for you. You gotta stop. Juice is worse, but at least juice doesn't make you pee blood. I don't think so.
あ、しまった。これ、ナナミがさっき飲んだやつだ。
Damn, was that the only drink he had? Oh no. I just had an indirect kiss with my imoto. If Nanami was a little sweeter, it might have been gray, like something out of an H game. That's nasty. But with her personality, it just made me feel sick. I closed the cap on the bottle and threw it into the big garbage bag in the corner of the room. It missed and bounced off the wall, rolling under the bed, but whatever. Now then, time to get back to ESO. Time to forget all about the annoying stuff that happened in the real world. But sadly, I was forced to bring my time to Baseland Lard to an end after just a single day. It's time to go back to school. When I left the base early in the morning, my mental state was back in the dumps, and any improvement that I felt from my time in the game was gone. Why did I have to go to school? But I couldn't stay home. If I stayed home, it would ruin my whole attendance schedule. Then I wouldn't be able to graduate. It was my idea, but still, I couldn't help but complain. When I got to the luxury residence at Shoto, I suddenly realized I'd been feeling someone looking at me the whole time. But it wasn't God's gaze. That wasn't the weird feeling on my neck. Uh-oh, who the hell's stalking me? As I turned the corner, I took a quick look behind me. Without turning around, I caught a glimpse of a girl in a sume uniform. Was it a demon from 2 days ago? Suddenly my heart started to pound. I felt so nervous that I started to walk funny. I started to feel like I'm no longer belonging in the quiet morning around me. I could hear the sound of birds chirping on the power line, and the faint sound of the morning news of the televisions inside the houses around me. This didn't feel like a place where any kind of murder could happen, and yet I felt like I was about to have a delusion of myself being brutally killed. No, I needed to calm down. I hadn't gotten a clear look at their face, had I? If they were a sume student, it was only natural that they'd be following me. They were headed to school just like I was. Okay, I had an idea. Instead of following the path that led straight towards school, I made a right instead. I followed down the urge to turn around and try to act as naturally as possible. I kept walking, trying to contain my nervousness, and after a minute, I quietly turned around. Oh, it's not. I see. It's someone blonde. It's that glasses chick. Our eyes almost met, and I quickly turned my head forward again. Why was she following me? This wasn't the way to school. Was she actually telling me? It was a face I didn't recognize. The one thing I could tell for sure, though, was that it wasn't the demon from the other day. This girl has glasses. Just knowing that alone made me feel much more relieved. I decided I should head straight to school. I had to cancel my usual morning breakfast, but I didn't have a choice. This guy called it Girl A. To me, you're just pedestrian number 1, or Girl A. No more important than that, so go away. Dude, I like playing this character. He's so cool. Yo, I never met a main character that hates girls like this. It's pretty funny. I guess he doesn't just hate girls too. It's everybody, but he just like, it's like extra. Girl A stopped telling me and disappeared when I got to the school entrance. She seemed to have somewhere else to go, since she headed for the third-year student classrooms. Maybe I was just imagining her telling me, but it didn't make sense that she followed me down a route that led away from school. Was she trying to upset me? Had I done something to make her mad? No, I hadn't. There's no way I could. At this school, I was invisible as air. So what was she after? I somehow made it through the awful day at school, and as always, stopped at a cafe on my way home. Of course, I sat in room 37. Usually the rooms around me were empty, but surprisingly enough, there was somebody in room 36 today. The door to the room was closed. I could see the desk light was turned on inside. I sighed a little as I went into my own room. Having someone next door made it hard to chat. I was kind of a person who always said things out loud when he chatted. Well, whatever. Time to just log into ESO. I just had to be careful not to say anything. Nice OSC. I slammed my palm on the keyboard, annoyed. I've been playing for about 2 hours now. Today was just a stressful day. The pair I grouped up were clearly new players. As always, I stayed in the background, trying to let them have the glory for themselves, but one would always run in ahead of us and die, and then do it again. The other, a mage, refused to use any magic to help us. Our party must have died a dozen times. And on top of that, all they did was complain and chat. Freaking idiots! I got so mad I PK'd them. So, took all their items, then quickly escaped to another area. I thought he said he doesn't PK. Nightheart couldn't do that stuff, but Lisa Lick could. That was why I came all the way to the cafe to log in. I felt a little better, so I decided to take a break and go get something to drink. At cafe had free drinks and a well-stocked soda fountain near the counter. The one problem with room 37 was that it was pretty far from the bar. When I left the room, I saw the door in room 36 was open. I had to go by if it was going to get a soda fountain. I took a quick peek inside as I walked by, and nobody was there. Actually, I realized I heard the sound of somebody getting up a moment ago. There was a bag sitting next to the chair in the room. It was a student bag. Decorative straps hang from it. Stuffed animals dangling at their ends. There were Ghetto Froggy, the thing Nanami had showed me yesterday. 3 of them, too. Maybe it was really popular. Not that I cared. If I kept staring at it and they came back, they might think I was a stalker or a thief. I decided to forget about it and go get my soda. But then I saw what was showing their monitor. My eyes were wide. The monitor was displaying the words NewGen aggregator sites. It was in a really nasty looking, attention grabbing font too. NewGen. I've been deliberately avoiding looking up anything about it. I didn't want to know the details. That was how I was telling myself that I had nothing to do with it. Anyway, was there a reason the person who just happened to be in the room next to me at the net cafe was looking at NewGen aggregator site? For a moment, I saw the demon girl face again, and my whole body shivered. I shook my head to drive away the negative thoughts. I was overthinking it. Yeah, I was just being paranoid. NewGen was the media's favorite subject right now. It's not a day went by when the TV talk shows weren't discussing it. Everybody was interested in it. That was the only reason. Yeah, it had to be. Time to forget about it and go get my soda. I put my cup under the dispenser and pushed the button for soda. Ice cold soda came down right into the cup. The sun was setting. It was starting to get crowded. I could see a small line of people waiting at the register. As I got later, more and more people were calling to come. In an hour or so, other rooms around 37 would be full. That would probably be my cue to go home. I took my cup, went back to my seat. As I walked back, I took a quick glance down the corridor that led to the restroom. What the fuck? She's still stalking me. I saw a girl with glasses in a sume uniform disappearing down the end of the hall. It was Girl A, the one who been following me this morning. I thought I must have been mistaken, so I hid behind a bookshelf and watched the corridor for a while, but I never saw her again. It must have been my imagination, right? Yeah, I only seen her for a second. And there were probably a ton of sume girls who used this cafe, a lot of whom probably wore glasses. But what was Girl A? What was she doing here? Was it just a coincidence, or had she followed me? I started to feel scared. I left the cafe and hurried back to the base. I got too scared to stay. I wanted to go home as fast as possible, but the streets were crowded with people and I couldn't move forward as fast as I wanted. I was starting to feel sick. I hated crowds. It felt like everyone was laughing at me. The crosswalk turned red, so I had to stop. I took a quick look around, and there was no sign of Girl A. As I headed to Denjin-zaka Hill, walking got a lot easier. Usually, I chose to take the back streets where there weren't as many people. Oh shit. But after what happened 2 days ago, I decided to take the main street instead. I came to another red light and looked around again, but there was no sign of Girl A. Maybe the person I seen at ad cafe was someone else after all. I relaxed a little, relieved, and turned around. Oh fuck. We gotta imagine her dead. I took a step back in shock. There on the other side of the crosswalk, standing with the other pedestrians waiting to cross, was the girl. And her eyes, behind her glasses, were locked dead onto me. Her eyes were tense, as if she was trying to send some kind of message. I'm killing everybody. Maybe it was just a reflection from the passing car, but a flash of light illuminated the lenses of her glasses. I heard it. Her lips twisted, as if she was mocking me. There was so much distance between us. There were so many people around us. But still, I could hear her tiny laugh. As she laughed, she suddenly lifted up her skirt. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Dozens of small shiny objects fell out from inside it. They looked like crosses. I remember the crucifixion I seen the other day. The look on her face was sheer insanity. Her eyes were bloodshot, her cheeks frozen, and a smile was on her lips. Then for some reason, she started to walk across the street enough through the light that was still red. I shriveled up in fear and tried to run, but my legs were rooted to the ground. I couldn't even speak. She was getting closer, crossing the street, the cross-shaped stakes in her hand. Stay away! I swore in my mind, and then... Damn, bro. She got isekai'd. Whoa! I got a lot of notifications. What's going on? I should, I'll look at them later. She was hit by a truck that was driving down the road and got isekai'd. Throw a door down the street. The people around me started to scream. There were too many people between us for me to see what had happened to her. But I was sure that she was dead. She was dead for sure. She was lying on the ground, broken, bone shattered, and covered in blood. I'm saved, I told myself, even though I knew it was a terrible thing to think. Damn, no dead body. Oh fuck, I almost died. I came back to my senses. My body was soaked with an awful sweat. The people around me wasn't screaming anymore. They were simply waiting for the light to change. There was no sign of any truck. And the girl on the other side of the street was still there, staring. Was what I'd seen just a delusion? The light changed. The crowd began to move. I couldn't move. Girl A didn't move. She didn't smile or flip up her skirt. She just stared at me. It was as if time had stopped for the two of us and no one else. So why wasn't she moving? Why was she just standing there? It didn't make sense. It was weird. I shouldn't get involved. I needed to run. I needed to run where all I could. Run! She forced my timid brain into action. I ran as fast as I could. I ran into the opposite direction from her and down a side street I saw. I collided with something and fell on the ground, hard, hitting my shoulders. I gasped in agony, and as pain raced through my whole body, I couldn't tell what had happened. It was all I could do to sit up. Whoa, nice bike. When I looked, I saw there was a large scooter. A scooter? That's a scooter! That's a cool scooter. I should buy a scooter. Nah, I don't even know what I'll use it for. I have a car. I should trade in my car and get a scooter. I can't go to the highway on a scooter. I'll die. I saw there was a large scooter in the middle of the street. When I knocked it over, I must have collided with it. I gritted my teeth and tried to force myself to stand up, but I could feel any strength in my legs. I didn't think anything was broken, but...
大丈夫ですか?
I don't like her voice. Girl A was there. She must have caught up to me at some point. She was looking down on me, worried. Nani? What the hell was going on? Who was this woman? My body wouldn't move. I was too scared. I didn't know what to do. It was too late now, but I regretted not taking the train to Shinsen.
怪我してませんか?
Her voice was timid and hesitant. Was she trying to act worried to get me to let my guard down? You're not going to fool me. I won't let any 3D girls fool me. I'll try to stutter like this guy. No one stuttered. I'm trying to think how you stuttered. I guess there's people with medical conditions that stuttered too. But people that don't have medical conditions that stuttered. I wonder why they don't say Oh, Japanese can't. Oh, they do have in Japanese. Isn't it it's like ano, something like that, right?
ついてくるなよ。僕に何の用だ。
Yeah, I like this main character a lot. I don't know, maybe I did change. Of course, people was gonna change in like 6 years, right? Or something like that. So I think it's pretty funny he act like this. I yelled at her. I still couldn't stand up, so I crawled away from her. Yo. If I didn't put some distance between us, I was afraid she might have put a knife on me. Oh shit. That terrible sight came back to me again and again, and I kept feeling like it was going to happen to me too. She seemed hurt.
あなたが急に走り出して様子を見に来たら倒れてたので心配で。でも今は用事とかあるわけじゃないんですが、
Yo, leave me alone before I make bad delusions about you again. I don't have any. You don't have anything to talk to me about. What does that mean?
じゃあなんで付きまとってくるんだ。
I like the way he stutters.
それは
She was stammering. It was really suspicious. Hey, did this have an English dub for the anime? I kind of want to know what the English dubs sound like. I want to know how they're gonna do Takumi in English. Don't. You're gonna sound. Oh my god. Don't sneak up on me like that.
私、楠ゆあって言います。
You are? I never heard that name before. Kusanagi though. I didn't ask, but she introduced herself anyway. Damn.
実はあなたのこと一目見てなんとなく存在が気になって、それでつい。
Sorry, I'm not interested in girls. 3D girls. Sorry, gay guys. Not interested in guys either. 3D guy. So you started stalking me? And the girl, Yua, was staring at the ground as she talked.
ごめんなさい。
She bowed. Impossible. That was my honest reaction. The only guys I like is a starful. Let me get off that conversation. Man, this is dumb. Oh my god. I like this character. I forgot that was a thing. Because, I don't know. It doesn't happen too much anymore nowadays. That's like a... My eyes hurt. That's an old otaku thing, right? I'm not into 3D girls. Only 2D. I don't know who say that anymore, right? That's like an old thing for sure. No one say that in 2022. Because now they have 3D animes. So you can't really say you're not into 3D anymore. And 3D animes look pretty damn good. Now that I got a clear look at her, this Yua girl was pretty cute. I'll admit that. But that doesn't mean I could believe it. A 3D girl? Interested in me? What kind of H-game scenario was that? That had never happened in my entire life. It sounded to me like an obvious lie. Did she think this would make me happy? Especially when she'd been acting like a stalker a moment ago. Maybe if she was 2D, it might work, but 3D girl like that was just a weirdo. Scary. I felt really embarrassed just being here too. I want to get out of here as soon as possible. 3D girls are just the worst. Even talking to one makes you nervous.
僕は三次元に興味はないよ。
I'm not interested. I don't like girls. 3D girls.
いや、
I already made that joke. I was gonna make that joke again. I was gonna say, sorry, gay guys, I'm not into guys either. I tried to say something harsh, but hesitated. But I knew if I didn't say it, she'd keep stalking me. I didn't want that.
迷惑だよ。つきまとわないでよ。
He didn't really call her a weirdo. You're a nuisance? I think that's what he said. I guess a weirdo is harsh too, though.
すいません。
Get the fuck out of here. You're like a fly. She looked sad. Did she really feel bad about it? Maybe. No, I couldn't let her fool me. I couldn't believe in any 3D person. I only believe in 2D. Nothing else. I could trust Sedaton a lot more than I could trust her. Me too, bro.
ついてこないでね。僕帰るから。
I forced myself to stand up as I stammered out the words. My whole body still hurt, especially my shoulder. I could barely move it, and every so often I feel a dull ache from it. The pain was making me a little dizzy. I might have hit my head a little when I landed. I staggered for a moment, and Yua quickly grabbed my hand.
怪我してるんですね。手貸します。
Push her. Bully McGuire her. It was all I could do. It was all I could do not to turn to look at her. I knew my face was bright red. If she saw it, she'd definitely make fun of me. I knocked her hand away violently so I could turn around away from her. My mind was going blank. I almost never had a chance to touch a girl who wasn't a family member. I could feel my heartbeat quickening.
お家まで送ります。あなたが怪我したのは私が付きまとっちゃったせいですから。だから送らせてください。
I appreciated her offer. I wasn't used to having anybody to be nice to me, and I felt like I might actually fall in love with this 3D girl I hated just a moment ago. Damn, bro, he's like a puppy. You feed him one time, he'll remember it forever. He's loyal. But that didn't mean I had the courage to look straight at her. And anyway, she was a stalker. She might have something to do with that demon girl too, and I didn't want to die. So many different thoughts were racing through my head that I didn't know what I felt anymore.
お家どこですか？
深セン。
深セン？
I nodded, then realized what I'd done. Why the hell did I just tell her that? What was I expecting to happen? That was just a delusion anyway. Uh-oh. Death flag. I know what that means. Or even if it wasn't, I would only be happy for a while before it got all ruined at the last second. That's how it always worked out in anime, right? I could feel the death flags popping up by the second. Crap, 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 crap. Now she was up against me, trying to help me walk. I could feel her soft body up against mine. Her hair smelled good. Impossible. No 3D girl would ever be this nice to me.
歩けますか？
Push her. I nodded again.
じゃあ行きましょう。
She sounded nervous, and she was watching my feet as we slowly walked. At this point, I didn't feel like I could refuse or shake her off. Helplessly, I let her tiny body support me as we went. Damn, now she know where you live. Neither I nor Yua said a word until we got to the building where the base was at. There was no way I could have a real conversation with a girl. If I talked about anime or games or figures, a 3D girl would never try to understand. She'd just tell me I was creepy. I don't think I would ever talk about anime, games, figures with a 3D girl as well. I would talk about music. Food's a good one. Food, places, and that's really it. It's mainly food and places. That's it. And from my perspective, there was no point in talking to worthless girls like that.
ここでもういいから。
I don't even want to talk about anime with dudes. Feel like they take it too far. Right? I whispered and then watched to see how she reacted. She nodded slightly and then let go of me. I still staggered a little.
やっぱりお部屋までついていきましょうか。
I ignored her and headed for the building lobby. I say lobby, but it was really just a narrow hallway leading to some elevators. There was a small staircase, and when I tried to go up it, I felt incredible pain that almost knocked me over.
大丈夫ですか?
She ran over and grabbed me. Damn it, was she still here?
やっぱり部屋まで送ります。絶対送りますから。
For some reason, she seemed really desperate. To be honest, she's been a big help in getting me this far. Our base was on the roof, and to get there, you had to take the elevator to the 8th floor, then go up a steep staircase. I couldn't have done it on my own. Yua didn't look that strong, but she'd done everything she could to help me get up. She'd been supporting me for so long that she was out of breath.
こんなところに住んでるんですね。
She looked at the shipping container in shock. I guess to most people, living in a shipping container was really weird.
なんかその
Jealous.
憧れます。アウトローな感じがしていいですよね。こういうのって。
I certainly wasn't expecting her to say that. Was she trying to suck up to me? You can't fool me. I'm not letting a 3D girl fool me. With her help, I unlocked the padlock and went inside. You got a pretty nice room. It's not that dirty. Phew, I was finally home. What another awful day. I resolved again to never leave my room if I could help it.
真っ暗ですね。電気のスイッチはどこに?
She come right inside my room without bothering to ask. Well, I guess it was because she'd been helping me walk this whole time. But still, I didn't really want her seeing the inside of my room. There was a whole shelf of figures and H games on the bed and garbage all over the floor.
もういいから。話して。
I waited for her to remove her hand, but she didn't.
床すごく散らかって。じゃなくて、歩きにくいと思うんですけど。
Oh my god. What?
絶対危ないです。
She just says disgusting.
ソファーまで行きましょう。
shit.
そこで話しますから。
Yeah, we can't trust her. Fuck this hoe. I'm not trusting you. You call my floor disgusting. Fuck you. Don't trust her talking to me. Push her. In the end, I did as she told me. There were CDs and magazines all over the sofa, but she cleared a spot for me to sit down. She was really kind and considerate. Wait, I wasn't going to let her fool me. Not a chance.
平気ですか?
It was just me and her inside the room. The door was still open, and a little bit of a moonlight was coming in through it, but the room was mostly pitch black. It was too dark to read the expression on her face, but the fact that I couldn't see her made the sound of Yua's breathing seem almost seductive somehow. I realized that this was the first time I let a girl beside my Imoto-san into my room, and she was also someone I barely even knew. If this was a game, it would mean she was totally into me, and there'd be a situation where things would keep going and I end up kissing her. That wasn't what I was expecting. Reality is always cruel. It wasn't like 2D, and this girl wasn't normal either. She was a stalker. How long was she going to keep me standing there anyway? Not that she'd seen me home, and shouldn't she be going? Then I realized, was she waiting to get me alone so she could do something horrible to me?
明かりのスイッチは。
パソコンの。
パソコン?
The only light in this room was the desk light next to the computer. I tried to tell her that, but I couldn't.
そうか。デスクライトですね。
I carefully dodged around the garbage on the floor as she walked over to the computer desk and turned on the light. The room was finally freed from the darkness. It was dark, but the fact that I couldn't see made me imagine all kind of different delusions, but being able to see her wasn't much better. I felt twice as embarrassed as before. I felt dead silent and quickly turned my face down. Her sudden gasp startled me. I looked up and she was looking at the figure at Sedaton next to my computer monitor.
これって、プラチューのセイラちゃんですよね。
No, bro, don't fall for it. She's 3D. Remember our ironclad. Ironclad. You remember the Ironclad? No 3D girls allowed.
知ってるの？
あ、はい。ブラッチュは大好きで毎週見てます。
へえ。
セイラちゃんがお好きなんですね。私もヒロインの中では彼女が一番好きなんですよ。衣装も可愛いですし。
There was a note of happiness in her voice. She seemed like she was telling the truth. That was surprising. Was you a,
不女子。
Is it that girls that like BL? Girls who enjoy games, anime, doujin, etc. About love between two or more men. Two or more? Holy shit, two or more. I guess that's no different from me. Well, I do like love between two or more womans. Right? Don't you always like to have a little harem in your anime sometimes? Just to, I don't know why. I feel like two girls is better than one girl. I think I like that scenario better because just in case you don't like that one girl, the other girl can fall back and then you have the other girl to like carry the series. That's why I think two girls, they should at least be two girls. Just in case the main girl sucks, the other girl can carry the series. That's why I think two or more girls is necessary. But two or more men? Maybe they have the same idea as me. Just in case one of the dudes sucks, you got the other guy to carry the series. No more female anime fans are not called for Joshi? Oh, they're not called for Joshi. Alright. What are they called? Otakus. She was just an anime fan, I guess.
あれ、フィギュアって言うんですよね。ちょっと見せてもらってもいいですか？
No.
すみません。ずうずうしいこと言っちゃって。もう帰った方がいいですよね。
Get out. She started to bow apologetically.
見ていいよ。
Damn it. No, Takumi. He was such a Chad when his Imoto-san showed up. But now he's bending the knee to this hoe? I didn't mind when somebody complimented my wife. I guess I could be a little nice to her.
本当ですか？ありがとうございます。
She picked up Seta and began to examine her.
それは山陽堂版の覚醒前バージョンなんだ。セーラフィギュアはいくつか種類が出てるけど、最初に出たやつ。
If she was a true fan, she would have known.
へえ。
I say that when I'm not listening to people. I'm like, okay. All right, the little nod. Okay, yeah. You gotta make some noise to think the other person, to fool the other person that you're listening.
あまりクオリティは高くないよ。顔とか微妙に崩れてるし、ポーズも平凡すぎてあんまりエロくないし。
Okay.
でも服の胸元部分をキャストオフできるのは今のところそれだけなんだ。
Ah, all right. Listening. A popular feature found in female anime figures that started appearing in 2006 are parts such as clothes that were made to be easily removable. Does anyone purchasers to strip their figure naked? Removable clothes? Damn. I don't know if I would like that. Because what if you lose the clothes? That's like those fucking figurines with the freaking swords. I get annoyed at those swords because I'm like, crap. If I misplace it, I'll never see it again. So that's why I'll never remove the sword after I install it. It's kind of annoying, but I was thinking with clothes. Damn, I don't know. I don't think I could do it because I feel very not self-conscious. I feel very nervous touching a figurine because I feel like it could break just from me gripping it, right? Or holding it. I feel like I have a strong grip. So if I hold on to the figurine, I feel like I break. So if there's like clothes and it's removable, I would not remove the clothes because I feel like I'll break it. And if it's broken, then everything is broken. Right? You just ruined the entire figurine. If you like, you know, break off her finger, shit's ruined. Everything's ruined. Even though it's only a finger, can't even look at it. I feel pissed off every time I look at it. I remember, damn, I broke her finger. What she said? What? Only her top?
ちなみに僕はセーラフィギュアは4種類全部揃えてるよ。そっちの棚に制服バージョンとメイドバージョン、あと水着バージョンがある。
Dude, this guy, he do talk like an otaku. I like this guy. You know when nerds get confident, right? They like, he's still stuttering, but he's talking faster now. That's how you know someone's passionate. They started talking faster. The typical template of, oh yeah, I'm listening. Wow, that's a lot.
一番評価が高いのはメイドバージョンなんだけど、個人的には水着バージョンも悪くないよ。
You saw that, bro? Rap God. The maid version got the best reviews. Personally, I like the swimsuit. Then Japan really likes French maid. I like French maids too, but not really too into them. Same thing with swimsuit. The one-piece swimsuits. I like swimsuits too, but not really into them either. All kind of swimsuits. What's the other one? The other one is school uniform and battle outfit.
もうすぐアルファから待望の覚醒後バージョンが出るんだけど、これはかなりクオリティ高そうなんだ。
Oh god. Uh-oh, he's too passionate. He won't stop.
キャストオフも胸元だけじゃなくてほぼ全身可能だっていうし、表情もポーズも質感も言うことなしだね。
Oh, I have those kind of figurines. Not the figurines you can take off their clothes, but you can swap expressions. I always get nervous swapping expressions too. I usually swap the expression one time and never switch expressions ever again.
あとはカラーさえバッチリなら今年発売されたフィギュアの中でも MVP 候補だよ。
What? Did he say MVP? That's godlike.
アルファ？
メーカーだよ、フィギュアの。
Dude, he's like a real otaku. I like this guy. He's pretty good. I think this is the same voice actor as what's his face, that scumbag from Utsuwaru Mono. What's his name? The one that likes the other girl, Eruru. I forgot. Kawaii. No. I forgot his name. I don't want to remember his name anyway. This bitch ain't listening. Suddenly, you should ask her. I don't know how you could test her. Suddenly, I gasped. I realized that I talked way too much. And about anime figures, too. I also had the feeling I said all kind of really embarrassing things. About taking off clothes, sexy poses, too. Is taking off clothes from a figurine, is that really weird? I don't think that's weird, to be honest. I wanted to see what the expression on her face was, but I didn't have the courage. She was probably looking at me like I was a piece of human garbage. Man, see, you gotta embrace it. You are human garbage. He gotta face reality. He is human garbage. Just accept it. That way you don't feel too bad about being human garbage. Sometimes being human garbage is not that bad. My heart was pounding fast as I tried to look away. When she said my name, I turned to face her before I realized what I'd done. The look of disgusting contempt I expected. It wasn't there. Oh fuck. She was listening. Oh. It's next to Saber. It's above Saber actually. Below Raida. I didn't know how to react. She was smiling, looking like she was having a great time. I kind of want to show you guys my shit. Because he gets to show his shit. Let's see. Look what I have. See, I have Yudachi right there. Saber right there. Some other chick right there. Don't worry about her. And then, if you look all the way there, See, there goes my collection. It's not as good as Takumi, right? Oh, it's too many shoes. Don't worry about the shoes thing though. So I have like right there Tsukihime, and then you can see right there Yui from what they call it. I don't remember the short nickname, but from Snafu. And then my Blu-rays DVDs right there, and then quintuplets right there, and then there's Melty Blood right there, and then there's like a boxing gear. Don't worry about that. And I have Saber right there too. And then right there you can see there goes Kurumi right there, Saber, and then you see Shisho from Fate Grand Order, Chino, what's her name? Ayumi. It's been a minute. Ayumi from Charlotte, and then Miku in the back. You can't see Miku, and then you can see Emilia, and then there's more right there. It's like Yudachi, and then I think there's Miyu from Idol Masters, and then Saber too. There's another Saber down there, and then you can't go down more, but you get there's more too. Right there, you can see some more Blu-rays over there, and then right behind the quintuplets, you see the next to that red headphone above, it's more Blu-rays and some mangas that I bought. I know how Takumi feel now. Maybe that's why I like this character so much, because I became a nerd, and now I can relate. Yeah, I think that's it. After you become a nerd, maybe I should try watching Chaos Head again. I could totally relate with this guy. He's cool. I didn't know how to react. She was smiling and looking like she was having a great time. As she stared at the shelf of figures, her eyes were smiling brightly. I couldn't believe that a 3D girl could look at these and not be freaked out. Was the world a bigger place than I thought it was? Oh fuck, she knows about the anime! Maybe she was listening. Maybe she's not a faker. It's sold out. Wait till next season.
だったら覚醒後バージョンを予約した方がいいよ。あれは絶対おすすめだから。
It's gonna be awesome.
そうですね。あなたの話を聞いていたら、その覚醒後バージョンは本気で欲しくなりました。
Watch this. That's what they always say. Oh yeah, I'll think about buying it, and then they never do.
覚醒後って12話のあのシーンのことですよね。
She knows the episode.
よく知ってますな、お主。かなりのマニアですな。
Hey, maybe she did watch the anime.
はい、好きですから。特にあの時の覚醒シーンは毎日録画したものを見返してます。
Dude, I do the same, but not every day. Like sometimes I used to do it like every like couple of weeks, like twice or 3 weeks. I'll boot up like Ilya Prisma, and then I watch the Shido scene. You know the Shido scene where he's a fucking badass? I watch his awakening. It's from the movie. That shit was godlike. Damn, Shido's sick. He's sick in every anime he shows up in. It doesn't matter. I think I like Shido more when he's not the main character. Shido being a side character is too good. They made him like, he's basically like, he's like a mixture. He's like Archer, Kiritsugu, and Shido. Without being like too annoyingly nice, he's also a badass, which is like the Kiritsugu Archer part. So it's like a mixture. That's why I kind of like Ilya versus Shido. He's like a mixture of all three. Shido, Kiritsugu, and Archer. Damn, he's cool. He's way better as a side character. Him being a main character is godlike too, actually. Because in the Ilya Prisma movie, he was the main character. Alright, let's keep going.
あのシーンって演出と作画宮地なんだ。だからクオリティ高くて当然。
Damn, he knows. Yeah, that's how you know he's a real weeb. Otaku. What's another scene that I was used to watch every day? I used to watch it's this anime called Witchcraft Works, and I think it's like I don't remember. I think either episode 5 or 6 is one of those. There's one of them. I don't remember which one exactly, but it's an episode where I forgot her name, but she basically it's a story about how she took like 2 years, 3 years to search for the person she loved, and she finally found him. It's only half an episode too, so I only watched like 50% of the episode, and then when that scene's done, I stopped watching the anime. I'm like, damn, that's good. I always go back to that scene a couple of times. It used to be a couple of weeks too, but now it's like a couple of months. What's another scene that I used to like watching repeatedly? I think it's only those two, really. That's about it. Just Witchcraft Works and the Ilya Prisma movie, a Shido. There's only like those two scenes that I like.
Miyachi?
そういう神クリエイターがいるんだ。あの人の演出はマジで神だよ。アットちゃんの実況版でも神来たってなるし。
そうなんですか。
She's not listening.
すごく知識が豊富なんですね。私、スタッフが誰かなんてまるで気にしてませんでした。
Noob.
監督と演出と脚本はチェックしとくといいよ。特に新作なんかはそれを調べるだけで内容の良し悪しが大体できるし。
Oh my god. That's why I always wanted to help people too. Always check who's directing it, right? Because people always gas up fucking studios. I guess studios, yeah, sure, right? Because usually the same team. But I'm like, it's not all about the studio, right? You know, like how Madhouse used to be the GOATs, but then they're no longer the GOATs because the people that used to work there is gone now, right? So it's not just the studio. You gotta look at who's directing it, who's doing the art, who's doing the OST. Obviously, right there, scripting. That's how I got into Vivi, right? Obviously, I always try new animes, but I really look forward to Vivi because I knew Vivi was the same person, right? It was the same writer that created R0. So I was like, this has to be godlike because R0 is godlike. There's no way he can mess up. And you know what? He didn't. I was right. And I think Engaged Kiss as well. I think Engaged Kiss is the same writer that did White Album too. And that turned out fantastic too. Engaged Kiss. There was some people on Twitter comparing it to White Album too. And it does have some comparison too. But that's how you know it's made by the same dude.
わかりました。今度からそうしてみますね。
She was still smiling at me with a pretty smile. A girl smiling at me? I thought that only happened in H games. But now it was happening to me. This guy's too funny, dude. I like this guy so much. Takumi. Damn, this guy is cool. He's not just your ordinary nerd. He's like me. He's just like me for real, for real. He's just like you. He played H games. Come on, bro. That's godlike. Damn, he doesn't even say regular game. He's like, I thought this only happened in my anime. Anime, rookie level. Manga, you're stepping up. Light novel, you're a nerd. H games, you're my people. Man of culture. But whenever 3D girls, especially my Imoto, were smiling at me, it's because they were making fun of me. She was up to something. I knew it. I couldn't forget Sedaton words. Don't believe anybody. Don't listen to anything anyone says.
こんなこと聞いていいかどうかわからないんですけど。
何?
I started to fidget a little. She was looking down at the ground and avoiding looking at me in the eyes.
聞かせてもらってもいいでしょうか。あなたのお名前。
Don't do it! Don't do it! Takumi, no! I realized that she introduced herself, but I hadn't.
Nishijo Takumi.
Suddenly, I felt embarrassed. Those words came quiet and soft.
西条匠くんですね。何年生？
あ、2年。
私は3年。私の方が年上さんですね。
Fuck no! Don't fall for it! Remember what Sedatan told you! Remember Sedatan! Oh no! The Muay pose was enough to almost make me pass out. Was Yui Muay type quiet on this one? She was trying to seduce me. She was dangerous. She was definitely up to something. That's a lot of words. If you find girls with glasses attractive, you may be the glasses type. Or you prefer clumsy girls, klutzy girls. Words can be used to describe someone who fits the profile as well. So a girl with glasses, an older girl with calm personality can be easygoing older girl. A girl who appears young is a loli. What the fuck?
それで西条くんにお願いがあるんです。
A request! Don't tell me! Nah, we gotta kill her. I don't trust this hoe. I only trust Sedatan.
あなたのことが好きなんです。
Oh.
ずっと西条くんのことを見てました。もう見てるだけじゃ嫌なんです。
Her face was now bright red, and for some reason, as she talked, she started to rummage through her bag. She seemed to be looking for something.
あなたの全部を私のものにしたいんです。
Ho, ho, ho.
それでいろいろ考えて一番素敵な方法を思いついたんです。
What is that? I don't recognize that object. And then she took out a brand new kitchen knife. It glistened in the light of the desk lamp. All I could do was stare at it in shock. My brain couldn't keep up with everything that was happening. Oh god. Fuck.
あなたが好きだから。好きすぎてもう耐えられないから。
Her hands gripped the knife. She must have been gripping it terribly hard because her fingers had turned white. She pointed the blade straight at me. I started to shake my head no. So she know I didn't think this was a good idea, but there was no making her listen now.
あなたの肉とか骨とか皮膚とか内臓とか脳とか目玉とかもちろんあなたの一番恥ずかしいところも全部私が食べてあげますね。
She won a sausage. She laughed, an insane laugh, as she leaped at me. There was a dull impact, a sense of pressure. I looked down at my chest. The blade of the knife was embedded deep within me. She let out a sweet sigh right next to my ears. The knife dug through my flesh and my bones. But I didn't feel any pain. Of course I didn't, because this was a delusion. Scary. Yandirs are scary. My own delusions are scaring the shit out of me. Alright, I know what a yandir is. Drive them to act in insane manners? You know the old phrase, don't stick it in crazy. As I stood there shaking, Yua suddenly fell backwards and landed on her butt. She was rubbing her behind, looking a little teary-eyed.
すみません。CD を踏んづけちゃったみたいです。ケース割れたかも。本当にごめんなさい。
Excuse me.
私、きちんと片付けますから。
いいよ。
I just wanted her to go home. What was that request she asked about a moment ago anyway? Yua started to pick up the trash and CDs around her feet, even though I just told her not to. She looked so apologetic that I started to feel like I was the bad guy here.
じゃあ、足の踏み場だけでも、 確保させてください。すいません。その後でお願い言いますから。
She seemed like a mom as she moved around, cleaning things up. Someone who didn't care about what other people thought and just ran around doing whatever they wanted. Nosy and annoying. In a situation like this, was I supposed to be helping her? And then, as we both reached for the same piece of garbage, our hands would touch. They would gasp and gaze into each other's eyes. Wait, this wasn't a romantic comedy. No way was I going to help. In the middle of carefully piling up a bunch of magazines, her hand suddenly froze. She was turned away from me, and I couldn't see what she was holding. She seemed really shaky. This was suspicious. I realized that she was in a position to see everything in my room. She might want to steal something. She might even think that there was so many figures I wouldn't notice if she took one. But I would! I knew all my wives really well. If one disappeared, I noticed immediately. I'm gonna say what she picked up, cause it's kind of obvious. You remember the steak that he had in his room that he threw at the wall and never bothered cleaning up? She saw that. The steak that was used to kill somebody. Yeah, right, she's lying. A blood-tooth doujinshi! Oh, that was a naughty one! She quickly got back to work, and then, when she secured enough room to sit, she turned toward me. Here it was! I gulped as my body tensed up. No. Fuck you. Fuck you! I don't want 3D in my life. This was dangerous. I needed to be really careful about how I responded. Sure, she and I had the same hobbies. She said she liked Seria too. And she listened to the things I said, like she actually cared. For an otaku like me, she was an easy person to talk to. But this was a trap. It had to be. This kind of stuff only happened in H games, not in the real world. I couldn't let the 3D world fool me. Think, what was you after? Oh my god. Don't fall for it, Takumi! Don't do it! She bowed to me. Most 3D girls were really bossy and arrogant. She was a rare exception. No 3D girls could possibly be this cute and kind. It was all an act. I was going to say no. I was going to come out and say it clearly, like a man. She looked up at me, and I could see that her eyes were damp. Was she crying? Because I didn't say anything. Had I made her cry? Please, anything but that. Oh no, not the puppy eyes. I only ever experienced anything like this in video games. My heart was pounding really fast. I even felt guilty. I always heard people say that girls use tears as a weapon, but only now did I realize that it was true. To be honest, I didn't know what to do. I just stood there, half stammering. No! I just said I'd go with her, but I couldn't. What if I said yes? And the next thing she said was, "Don't take me seriously, idiot, you're creepy." I was so scared of the idea that I was struck silent. Oh my god. Go cry outside. Her eyes were even wetter now. It felt like tears could start pouring from her eyes any second.
行く。
No. Damn it, Takumi.
言ってもらえるんですか？
I nodded helplessly. It was the only way I could think of to get her to stop crying. The whole thing felt like a setup, but she let out a sigh of relief and then took off her glasses to wipe away her tears.
断られて当然だと思ってたのに。西条くん、ありがとうございます。
She said thanks. I managed to keep her from crying at least. I got lucky, I guess. Phew. Why did this have to be so stressful? You couldn't let your guard down around 3D girls for a minute. Damn it.
行くとしたらいつがいいでしょう？
What happened to that sad expression of hers? Now she looked really happy. Maybe she was making it up the whole time. If so, she had a future as an actress.
セイラちゃんの新しいフィギュアはもうすぐ発売なんですよね。
うん。きっとすぐに完売しちゃうだろうね。
だったら早めに行った方が良さそうですね。明日とか。
Going to my schedule, tomorrow was a school day. This week I had to go 3 times. Of course, that meant next week I only went twice. Tomorrow was going to be even worse day than I thought. But you all look really excited. If I told her I changed my mind now, she might cry again. She had me in her clutches.
わかったよ。
I reluctantly agreed. You all looked happy. But she couldn't fool me, okay?
西条くんは何組？明日放課後に迎えに行きますよ。
B 組。
2年 B 組ですね。じゃあ授業が終わったら待っててください。
I nodded, hoping I could get her to leave. I was going somewhere with a girl? This wasn't a dream or a delusion, was it? I tried pinching myself. It hurt.
それじゃあ長い間お邪魔しちゃってすいませんでした。足もし痛かったらお医者さんに行ってくださいね。
あ、うん。
I sat on the sofa and watched her go. Just before she left, she turned and waved at me.
西条くん、また明日。
Thank God she's gone. Phew.
ま
Now
た明日だってさ。
I can go back to Seratan, the one and only.
しかも手を振ったりして。
Look his laugh. I felt a grin coming on, but I forced myself to stop.
あの女絶対僕に惚れてる。間違いないね。まあ、付き合うか付き合わないかは僕に選択肢があるわけだし、あの女を情け容赦なく振ってやるさ。お前は僕の女にふさわしくない。セイラよりいい女になって出直してこい。まあ、一生無理だけどな。何しろセイラは永遠の17歳だからな。みたいな。
Oh, God. It's kind of weird, bro. No girl could be better than Seratan. I picked up the figure and rubbed it against my cheek. Seratan looked happy. I would never do that. I would never pick up the figures and rub it on my cheek. I get too scared.
今のところテストに出るからな。ちゃんとノート書いておけよ。
Okie
今日
dokie.
はここまで。
I think that's the sign too. G? G's. Alright, this is a good time to stop. I'm getting pretty tired. I should drink energy drinks, but I don't feel like it. So with that, we'll stop here. Dang, I like him. He's really good, Takumi. I didn't think I liked this character, to be honest. Because honestly, like I said in the previous video too, I don't remember liking Chaos Head main character Takumi like this. I remember him being very annoying. Either A, I change, obviously, that's a big factor, and B, maybe he's actually is pretty good in a visual novel, or it might be C, a mixture of both. I know what it feels like to be a nerd now, and I can finally relate with Takumi. Or they did make Takumi way better in the visual novel, and they made him worse in the anime. Or it might be a little bit of both. But all I can say is, for sure, visual novel Takumi, 2 thumbs up. He's pretty good. He's pretty funny too. I like him. Anyway, with that, I appreciate everyone that stopped by. It's been cool. We'll play more Chaos Head later. Bye.